Hi guys, in this video I want to teach you some very quick and simple methods to reset your nervous system if you're struggling with anxiety. You may have heard of the concept of autonomic dysregulation or nervous system dysregulation. This was a big discovery for me in my journey in overcoming anxiety, OCD behaviors, social anxiety, neurotic thinking, overthinking, rumination, all of these things. Discovering this concept of autonomic dysregulation was a big breakthrough for me and helped me to recover. Okay, so what is nervous system dysregulation? You may have heard that the nervous system is comprised of two branches, the sympathetic and the parasympathetic. The sympathetic nervous system is our fight and flight system. The parasympathetic is our rest and digest. And you can think of this like a gas pedal and a brake. The sympathetic nervous system releases stress hormones, cortisol, adrenaline. It gets us jumping out of bed in the morning. It helps us take care of tasks. The parasympathetic nervous system is the opposite of this. It releases chemicals which help us rest and digest and relax and fall asleep. The problem is, as you've probably discovered and seen in the world around you, that in our modern society, most people are living in some state of autonomic dysregulation. Our modern society is based very much on sympathetic activation and stimulation. And you can see this with our dependence on coffee, on blue light, artificial light, screens, entertainment, sugar, simple carbohydrates, all of these things which stimulate us. Our natural state as humans is actually to be in a parasympathetic state. If you think of our ancestors, they would spend much of their time relaxing, resting, and digesting. Then if a threat or an enemy entered the village, entered the perimeter of their territory, they would activate the sympathetic nervous system. They would rush out to deal with the threat, whatever it is, maybe to deal with a mammoth, a saber-toothed tiger, or to deal with prey that they were hunting. Then they would come back. So you would see a baseline of relaxation punctuated by spikes of sympathetic activity. The problem is in our modern society, all of this is upside down. We're usually living in a state of sympathetic activation, and if we're lucky, we might get the odd dip into a relaxed state. And this is often done through drinking alcohol, taking relaxant medications, this kind of thing. So the first step in trying to reset our autonomic imbalance or dysregulation is to clear out all of those things which are keeping us very sympathetically activated. And in my own recovery process, this was a process of detoxing. I cut out all caffeine, all stimulants. I tried to get off screens and stop using blue light as much as possible. I changed my sleeping habits so that I slept earlier, woke up earlier. I completely cut out pornography, sugars, simple carbohydrates, all of these things which are going to keep your nervous system activated. So the first step is to try and clear out all of the things which are keeping you in a heightened state of sympathetic activation. The second step is to then try and access more of a parasympathetic state. And the common advice you might hear is that you need to do meditation. Now, as someone who spent 3.5 years in a Buddhist monastery in Japan, surprisingly, I don't recommend meditation for people who are struggling early on in their anxiety journey. If you have anxiety, trying to sit down to meditate is usually going to make your situation worse. A much more effective way to tackle anxiety and to reset your nervous system is to come through the body. Instead of trying to go from the top down, using the mind to calm the body, we use the body to calm the mind. And there are many techniques we can use to do that, and I'm going to go through a couple of quick ones with you here. The first one is something called the physiological sigh. And for this, what you need to do is inhale twice and then exhale through the lips. So it's something like this. And what you should find after a few rounds of this is you will feel your face becoming a bit warmer, you will feel more relaxed. That's because the blood vessels in your body are starting to open and you're going into more of a parasympathetic state. Secondly, you can try 4-7-8 breathing. This involves breathing in for 4, holding that inhale for 7 seconds, then exhaling for 8. So it would look something like this. And it's important to remember that when you exhale, you do it through pursed lips and you make a bit of a whooshing sound as you let that air out. And I can already feel the effect of those last two exercises on me now. The next technique, which has proved very successful with many of my clients, is a 4-6 breathing cadence. You inhale for 4 and exhale for 6. Some clients have reported a 60% decrease in their anxiety just from doing 10 minutes of 4-6 breathing in the morning and the evening and cutting out caffeine alone. So this is really effective, and it's like this. You can practice with me. So we inhale for 4, exhale for 6. Inhale for 4. Exhale for 6. And again, each time you exhale through slightly pursed lips, as if you're blowing on a spoonful of hot soup just to cool it down. So we let that air out nice and slowly and smoothly. The last technique I want to share with you is something called box breathing, and it involves breathing in for a count of 4, 5, 6. You can even do less, like 3. Then you hold it for the same amount of time, and then you exhale for the same amount of time, and then you hold it for the same amount of time. So in this example, let's use a count of 4. We inhale for 4, hold it for 4, exhale for 4, hold it for 4. Okay, so it looks like something like this. Inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4. All of these techniques make use of the exhale, and this is an important rule of thumb to remember. When you inhale, it triggers the sympathetic nervous system and your heart starts to beat a little faster. If you track your internal metrics on a Fitbit or something like this, you will actually see your heart beating faster on the inhale. And then when you exhale, the heart starts to slow down. That's because you've accessed the parasympathetic nervous system. So in your life, if you ever need a quick go-to just to access the parasympathetic and get calmer, you can look to the exhale. Lengthen your exhale. And I would find in many situations, if I was feeling tense, I would just let out a long exhale to reset my nervous system. So maybe you're at a drinks party, you're feeling tense, you could just turn away and just discreetly let out a longer exhale than your inhale, and that will get you back into the parasympathetic state. So these are 5 very quick tips to help you reset your nervous system. Firstly, clear out stimulants, do a kind of detox to rebalance yourself, and then you can try these 4 breathing methods. Please let me know how you get on with these and leave a comment below, and I'll see you in the next video.